Hello everyone, how are we doing today? To be honest, I'm feeling a bit like okay today, if you know what I mean. Not great, but not terrible either, just okay. So, the Premier League this weekend, I only saw two full games, but I know all the results and I know who won and all of that stuff. So, Everton beat Man United. Honestly, anybody can beat Man United at this point. They're not a very difficult team to beat. And to be honest with you, I think next season won't be anything different. To be honest, because they'll have the same, mate. They'll have the same players pretty much. Obviously, players like Pogba are going, but what I mean is, I don't think there'll be any difference in terms of league position or any difference in terms of quality. I just think, I just think until they make serious changes at the club, they're just gonna be in the same position and and everything and everything are crap. Let's be honest. For most of the season, they've been terrible, and the fact that they were able to beat Man United showed how crap Man United are. But to be fair, more than likely, it would have been a draw. It would have been a draw if that didn't take a if that did not take a deflection. So there we go. I don't know what it is about Man United. Like one game they could be amazing, and then the next game they could be playing League Two. Quite they could be playing with League Two. That's like you know what I mean. Like they're just being consistent. I feel. So moving on, I watched the full game of Aston Villa versus Spurs. Obviously Spurs won 4-1. Now what am I talking about 4-1? I mean, hang on, with the result, I think it was 4-0, wasn't it? Yeah, 4-0. And even though it was a 4-0 scoreline, the game did not truly reflect 4-0 in my personal opinion. I think the Villa could have had a couple if they're a bit more clinical going forward. But obviously Spurs have that quality and at the moment they've been solid defensively for the most part and going forward they've been resolute. So you have to give them respect. But I just felt the Villa defensively under Gerard have been terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously they're not as bad as somebody like Norwich or somebody like that, but, but they're definitely not, they're definitely not a good defensive side. I can tell you that now. Now, and I just feel like, I don't know whether it's the players or whether it's Gerard's formation, but the Villa defensively are not that good. By the way, by the way, whenever if if I get to your team and you want to leave your opinions, please don't be afraid to do so. So 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 yeah, obviously the Villa aren't going to get relegated at this point, but there is something to be concerned about for the for next season if they don't get get a more get the more if they don't become more defensively solid for next season. At times they completely fall apart. So moving on now. Now Leicester beat Palace 2-1. Honestly, I know the result, but I have not seen any of the goals or anything like that. And to be honest, I don't really care about this game. I didn't really care about this game. And and what and so moving on, and Watford lost to Leeds 3-0. I'm not surprised. To me, Watford are one of them sides that are just doomed to be relegated, unfortunately. And remember when Watford came up a couple of seasons ago, they were a really dynamic side. And over the years, they've gotten worse and worse. So, but saying that, all respect to Leeds, because obviously they got rid of Bielsa and people were complaining that they got rid of Bielsa, and since this new guy's come in, I can't remember what his name is, but since he's come in, he's been really good for them, and they've managed to claw themselves, they managed to claw themselves out of the relegation places. And not only that, I think they're like 13th or like 14th. I can't remember where they are, but they're definitely not in any danger of getting relegated now. So fair play to him. And like I say, the fans loved Bielsa. So fair play to him, because it easily could have been a case of they brought in a new manager and they would have gotten worse. But no, he's been able to get a tune out the players. So fair play to him. But Brentford beat West Ham. I'm gonna be honest. I have not seen the goals, and to be honest with you, I didn't really care about the game. Fair play to Brentford for getting a 2-0 win, and yeah, they're comprehensively safe for next season. And West Ham, it's unfortunate because West Ham have a very small squad, and obviously they were competing on two fronts. They were competing on getting in the top four, and they were competing on in the Europa League. Obviously, they're still in the Europa League, but they've slipped away in the top four quite significantly, and unfortunately, that won't really reflect West Ham's season, because West Ham have had a really good season in comparison to what they've done historically. But they've just got a really small squad in comparison to your Arsenal's and Spurs. People that were challenging for top four with them. If I'm being honest, I did think in the summer that they wasn't gonna get top four, and they're not. So, well, I but and do I think they'll win the Europa League? Honestly, I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. I just think they're going to be a lot of their squad has been run into the ground, and because of that reason, I don't think they will win the Europa League. So moving on, and then Chelsea, Chelsea beat Chelsea beat Southampton 6-0. Fair play to Chelsea. Chelsea are back on form, because obviously they had a bad performance during the week against Real Madrid, and even in the league, they wasn't where they needed to be for the last couple of weeks, but this week they're back on form, and they managed to completely destroy Southampton 6-0. You know, if you're a Southampton fan or a team like that, yeah, how much you feel, because you're never really gonna challenge anything, and you just survive every single week. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least with somebody like Leicester, you've got the opportunity of winning like a trophy, like the FA Cup. But with Southampton, they never have anything to really fight for come January or no, sorry, come March. Like, if you know what I mean, it's like it must be so miserable being one of their fans, because you by by March you're just watching league games that probably don't matter. But the problem is, for me, with Southampton, they have a good start to the season, and because of their good start, but by the time they go and by the time they go and elected, they end up just being okay. I mean, I remember at the start of the season, they were on a really good run. When I when I mean a good run, I mean a good run for them. But over the last couple of months, all I've seen is that they've constantly lost. Maybe that's me not watching them enough. Let me know if I'm wrong. And Brighton beat Man United 2-1. Honestly, Arsenal. I really don't know what to say about Arsenal. They can have a month. They can have a month where they're unbelievable, and then they have a month where they can't string 2 wins together. And you know when they were all celebrating that they're gonna get top 4, and now they've lost. They've lost 2 games in a trot. And to be honest, they haven't looked impressive in the last 2 games. And, and if we're just looking at the squads on paper, Arsenal should be beating Brighton, and on Monday, I believe, even though Palace have some quality players, I believe Arsenal should beat them. Should have beaten Palace last last Monday. So if I were the Arsenal fan, I would be I would be really confused, and I would be slightly annoyed, because every season you have a good run, and then you sort of like fall off, and then you sort of like get back up, and then you fall off, and then you get back up, and then you fall off. Just just very sorry, just very inconsistent. At the end of the day, that's all it is. It's inconsistency from Arsenal, and unfortunately, that sums up Arsenal for the last couple of seasons. I don't. You know, I think obviously Arsenal did not expect to be in the top 4 this season. I don't think, but the fact that they were, and the fact they were so comfortably in top 4 at one point, and now Spurs have overtaken them by. I want to say, oh, it's hang on. It's only 3 points, but still, the way Spurs are playing and the way Arsenal are playing, I can't see Arsenal getting back in there at the moment. I mean, obviously, with 1 win, it can all change. But from what I've seen of Arsenal, even in it, it what from what I've seen of Arsenal, they can barely put 2 passes together sometimes. and, and maybe I'm just talking shit, but I genuinely don't believe Arsenal will finish in the top four. I think they'll finish fifth in the Europa League, and maybe that's where they belong, at least for this season anyway. I think I think at the start of the season, if you would have given them top four, if you would have given them a fifth a fifth place finish, that's what I meant to say. If you would have given them a fifth place finish, I think they would have bit your hand off. But the fact that at one point they were so comfortably in top four and they had it in their own hands and they just messed it all up. And of course, we cannot take anything away from Spurs. But as I said, Arsenal had it in their own hands, and and then he, and then they've completely bottled it. Going back to Spurs, I forgot to mention. I'll be able to put a lot of respect on Antonio Conte, on Antonio Conte's name, because before he went there, they looked absolutely terrible. And let's be honest, since he's been there, he's really improved the side. When he first got there, when he first got there, they looked really disjointed, and now they look like they're pretty solid all over the pitch. The ones the one signing that he made in the summer are really coming clutch for them. If it, and and I personally think next season if Spurs can get a couple more players in and refresh up the squad, I think there could be a, a dark horse for the title. I don't think they'll win the title, but you never know if they bring in a couple of new players and if they can keep the style of play and keep the defensive structure. And and I personally believe there will be dark horses for the title. Maybe I'm talking shit, but I but I gen- but I genuinely do believe that there can be dark horses next season if they make the right investment. And and on and on Friday, Newcastle beat Wolves 1-0. I have not seen anything of that game. I have not even seen the highlights. I know Newcastle won 1-0 via penalty from Wood. So fair play to him. I think that's only second goal since he joined Newcastle. I let's be honest. Wood is not a striker. He's a centre back up front. But he but when I just think I know why Newcastle signed him because they wanted something different and they wanted a target man pretty much. But he had not done anything even as a target man. And and obviously I don't think he'll be there for that long. And I just think next season, like in the summer, Newcastle will be spending a lot of dough. So I can't wait for that. And obviously the big game of the weekend was Liverpool versus Manchester City. Now I do know the result, and I have seen a lot of the highlights. But when I was watching it live, I saw the first goal from Kevin De Bruyne. I saw Liverpool's second equaliser, but apart from that, I fell asleep. Hi Tom. Hi Tom. I I enjoyed your interview with Joe, by the way. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, well, what? Yeah, yeah, that's where I was. So, I when 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 once I uh, yeah, that, so I d- I've I've completely lost my train of thought now. What would I talk? What would I talk about? So yeah, I for my for Man United and for Man United and Everton, I've as I said, I just think Man United are going to be like this for a number of years, and unfortunately, it's down to them. Oh yeah, thank you, Tom. So I'll get back to Everton and Man United in a minute, but talk about I just want to talk about the Liverpool and Man City game. So as I said, I did not watch it live, but I saw most of the goals and I saw most of the highlights. Because when I was watching it live, I saw the first goal, I saw the second goal, but no, I saw the first goal. I saw Liverpool's second equaliser to make it to make it 2-2. But I fell asleep for most of the game. But I saw the highlights and I've seen most of the goals. So from what I saw, it was pretty even of a game. But also but also Man City could have won it if they would have been a bit more, if they would have been, if they would have been a bit more clinical, if, 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 if Raheem Sterling would have scored that first opportunity that he had. Obviously, it's a completely different game, in my opinion. And obviously, second one, the one that he did score was offside. So, so so yeah, I personally believe that Man City will still retain the league. I do, even though Liverpool are, even though Liverpool are still on their tails. I genuinely do believe that Man City will retain the league. So, so going back to the Everton and Man United game, as I said earlier, I just think it would sum up. It would sum up. It would just continue like this for Man United. It does not matter who you have in charge. You could have Alex Ferguson in charge of this team, and he still would not do anything because this team is rotten to the core. They have a lot of they have a lot of players that are probably not interested in being there anymore, and they have a lot of players that I just think aren't good enough. And and to be honest, I just think it's a problem with our club as a whole. The way they ran is just terrible as a football club, and And even though Everton got the win this week, I still think Everton are in serious danger of being relegated. I mean, when it comes to Norwich and Burnley, ironically, I stayed awake for the boring. I stayed awake for the boring game, but I fell asleep. Probably one of the best games of the season in Man City and Liverpool. But back to Burnley versus Norwich, it was so boring. Norwich obviously won the game 2-0, and no matter who won today, I still think they're both going to get relegated. I honestly do. So so there we go. It was just a boring game. Like obviously, if you're a Norwich fan, you're gonna be happy with the 3 points. But I really don't think it will do a lot to change the season. I can't picture Norwich going on going on an undefeated streak for the rest of the season, and that's what you would have to do if you want any any chance of stopping up. But I want to say something. I want to say something else about the Man United and Everton game. I I do think Everton were more defensively solid. Cause it feels like I haven't given Everton the proper credit from a defensive point of view. So I have to give them credit for that. But as I said, I just think Man United had a team are just terrible. They have good individual players, but the team there's no there's no fluidity in the team, and it's just terrible. And when it comes to everything, I think if they can just grab 1-0 or like a draws for the rest of the season, they'll be okay. But if I was an Everton fan, I would be really concerned about next season because let's be honest, if we went for Norwich and Watford and Burnley being crap, you would be down. You on you honestly would be because you're not a good side. Like you know when Frank Lampard took the job, he looked really young and really exuberant, and now he looks old and miserable. But in all seriousness, he does not look he does not look as enthusiastic as he did when he took the job. Let's just say that. And as I said, as I've said before, I personally don't think they should allow managers to become Premier League managers when they've only had 1 year 1 year in management or like a year and a half in management. I believe they should say you have to go. I think it should be a rule where any new manager that is just qualified to be a manager, like, you know what I mean, got all the coaching badges and everything. I think it should be a rule that you have to go down lower to the lower leagues. It might that might be stupid of that might be stupid of me to say, but if you look at people like Rooney and people like that, even though he's not going well for that derby, he can be that derby and being relegated. He's gonna do a lot better for him than him than him being in the Premiership and basically struggling. I know people are gonna say, well, Lampard with that derby, But even when he was at Derby, I didn't think he was that great. To be honest, um, and let's call a spade a spade. When he was at Derby, he had a lot of lone players. Of course, he had to find a way to get them all to play together. So obviously, you have to give him respect for that. But in terms of like managing lesser lesser quality play, I, 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 I don't know what I'm trying to say, to be honest. I just think it was like, oh, this is what I'm trying to say. I think bringing, I think bringing Lampard in was a bad appointment for Everton. To be honest, I think they would have done better with somebody like. Please tell me if I'm wrong in the live chat, but 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 you know when Everton sat Martin, you know when Everton sat their former manager was Eddie Howe still available? Let me know. I think he was. Because if he was, Everton should have got Eddie Howe. Uh, 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 so, so, so there we go. So that was my thoughts on this weekend's Premier League games. And let me know what you thought either in the comments or in the live chat. Thank, thank you to everybody that was in the live chat. I I I hope you enjoyed the show. And as I say, I'm not an expert. I'm just somebody giving my opinion. So I'm probably going to be wrong a lot of the time. And when I am wrong, I will admit it. But as I said, when it comes to certain teams, just because just because they have one, but just because they have one good result, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna change how I feel about them. I do think Everton are crap, and yeah, they probably will stay up this season. But I think if they don't probably invest in the team, and they don't, and if they don't get themselves sorted out next season, they will go down. So so I do think it was a bit premature it was a bit premature for me to say everything are relegated. But at the time that's how I genuinely felt at the time. So there we go. So I was wrong, but that didn't change the fact that I really do think everything are shit. So there we go. So have a good day and thank you for watching. That that I'm just reminding myself of something that I wanted to talk about. Do you know when Norwich scored their second goal? Yeah. Why did everybody stop playing? Literally everybody stopped playing. Did I think it was offside or something when when Pookie scored their second goal? Literally everybody just stopped. Everybody just stopped playing. So did I think it was offside or something? Let me know because I was really confused. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? So, so yeah, so thank you for watching. And if you want to hear me talk about your team, obviously obviously you can go back and you can watch it from the start, or or if you're watching this up to the fact anyway, then obviously, probably you probably already heard me talk about your team. So thank you for watching and have a good day. And I will speak to you soon. And, and thank you for the support. It means a lot to me. Have a good night.